For the last 16 weeks, I have dedicated basically my entire life to training for my first ever marathon, and I've documented the entire journey and posted it on this YouTube channel. So I thought it was only right to do a race day recap and just show you guys kind of what the day looked like and how I felt. But to start off the trip, we had to say goodbye to our babies. We said goodbye to Frankie and said goodbye to Norman, which was sad because he definitely knew that we were leaving somewhere. And then halfway through the 9-hour drive, my husband and I did a little 2-mile shakeout run.
Hey, don't be so grumpy. Don't be so grumpy. All right. Okay, be gentle. Okay, I figured before it gets too late, I need to do a race day recap. The marathon was honestly so freaking cool. I was so nervous. The whole week before, I was just so scared. Like, I think it being my first marathon, like, I didn't really know what to expect, and all that I had to, like, go off of were my long runs, which my long runs just progressively got harder and harder and harder. Like, my 20-mile run was just, like, awful. I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna have to do 6 more miles on top of that. Like, what if I feel as bad as I did during the 20 miles? And that took me 4 hours to do 20 miles. And so I was like, what if it takes me like over 5 hours? And what if I'm just like running for so freaking long? That's like what I had in my head. I just really don't want it to suck, but I think it's gonna suck. So I think I was just kind of like dreading it in a way. Like, I just wanted to get it done with just so I could like just do it. The day before, we were driving there and I was just so freaking anxious the whole time. And then we get there and we go to the expo, and the expo was pretty fun.
It's kind of hot.
It's a video!
Yeah! Oh, you got me.
That's it.
That's where you'll be in.
Should I wear the medal while I talk about this? Okay, I'm gonna wear it. The expo was pretty fun. There were so many people there, which I feel like seeing like all those people being like pretty excited kind of started to make me be like, okay, all these other people are gonna do it. Like, if all of these people can do it, then like I can too. So then those nerves started kind of turning into like, okay, maybe I'm like a little bit excited, like still really scared, but like I'm ready for tomorrow.
Oh, what the heck, Brian? Come on, Brian. Oh, you got one.
And then we went and drove up the canyon just to see kind of where we would be running down. And we got to about the halfway point. And I started to feel a little bit better because, one, it was just gorgeous. Like, you run around that lake and then you are just basically downhill and then you finish. And so I knew like how much downhill there was. So I was like, okay, I can really lean onto that downhill when it starts getting really hard in the second half. So that made me feel better. It did seem like a really long way, but I feel like, you know, we already knew that it would be a really long way. And we went and got some pizza and breadsticks, just a carb load. I basically only ate carbs, like a little bit of protein in the morning on Friday, but I basically only ate carbs. And I think that helped me feel so good. Had some like gummy worms in the car. We went and got ice cream after, so I had the ice cream. Like, I just had a lot of carbs in me, pretzels. Like, we get back to our hotel that night. Okay, it's the night before. It's like 9:30. I should be asleep soon. I just figured I'd do a little brief how do I feel update. I just like cannot believe that it's tomorrow. Genuinely, I cannot believe it's tomorrow. And I'm feeling a little stressed.
I'm excited. Like, I just feel everything, and I think that's like part of the marathon. I just know it's gonna be the hardest run that I've ever done, probably. But I'm like excited for that, but also just, yeah, so scared. But yeah, I feel okay. My grandparents were there. They went and said good luck to us because they wouldn't see us in the morning. By this point, I was like, okay, I just need to go to bed. I just need to make sure that I get enough sleep. So then my mindset kind of started shifting from being like so nervous to just like, I can't believe it's literally tomorrow and we need to prepare for this. So got all my stuff ready, got my breakfast ready. I just had a little thing of oatmeal and a little bit of protein powder to have before, and then some honey. So I put honey in my oatmeal, and then I also put honey in a little baggie that I could just, and I ate like probably a tablespoon or so of honey right before we started the race. I prepped the coffee for the next morning. I wanted to keep the coffee the same that I've been having like every single training run, so I made coffee here and then put it in our food bag. Unfortunately, that did spill all over the food bag and into Brian's duffel bag and on his clothes. So our whole hotel room and entire car just smelled really bad of coffee, which I feel terrible because my family, they aren't really coffee drinkers. I luckily had some instant coffee, which made me a little bit nervous because I was like, if this doesn't make me freaking poop if this doesn't make me poop, I'm gonna be really mad. I put on my, I have an Attack on Titan t-shirt because I was like, it has Levi on it. And I was like, Levi will give me strength. I fell asleep very, very quickly, which I was worried that I was just gonna be so nervous that I wouldn't be able to sleep, but we woke up at like 4:20 and I felt rested and I felt ready. I woke up and I just smiled. Like I was just like getting ready in the bathroom and I was just like, I can't believe it's today. And so that like dread just turned into excitement. Like I was like, oh my gosh, it's like happening right now. Like I'm about to run a marathon right now. And I still was like nervous and I knew it was gonna be a long way, but it was like, you know, it's today. I'm gonna have to do it today. I don't know, I just like, I got excited. And so we got ready, everything went well. The bus was like a literal 3-minute walk away from our hotel, which was really nice. And then it was so nice because my dad had 2 of his friends that were there, which I did not expect them to be there. So I saw them and they're super funny. And so the whole bus ride up, like we were just laughing and having a good time and just like talking. And one of them was like, what's your goal? And I was like, my goal is just, you know, to finish. Like I just want to finish. And he's like, that's a great idea and just enjoy the race. And in my head, I was like, enjoy the race, LOL, like this is gonna suck. Like, you know, I was excited, but I still knew like this is 26 miles that we're about to run. Like this is not gonna be the most fun thing that I've ever done in my life. But he said, enjoy the race. I was like, okay, like, I don't know. I just kept thinking about that. And then we get to the top and we all were very ready to use the bathroom, which was great because it was also good too. There was a really freaking long line to use the porta potties, but it helped because we had to wait because we got to the top at like 6:15ish probably, or at least that's when we got off our bus. So we didn't use the bathroom until like 6:40. It was cold, so we were all just like standing by the fire pits, and then they're like, hey, like the race is starting in 5 minutes. So we all went and lined up, and then
Ogden River through scenic Ogden Valley and down stunning Ogden Canyon. Our sponsors by America First Credit Union. The final portion of your race down.
My dad and I started the race together.
Reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and pumping in time. The green light flashes, the flag bell turning, and our empty tank.
All right, it's on.
Let's go! Okay, love you, Dad.
Okay, see you at the end.
Okay.
He just flew like 7:30 miles for the first however long. Like my dad had a great marathon and hit sub 3:45, which is like crazy. I started off fast with his group and then I just kind of slowed back.
And my first mile, I hit like, I think it was like a 9:37 mile or something, or 9:40, like a very chill mile, honestly, because it's pretty downhill. Like that first mile is downhill. I wasn't even playing music. There were just so many people around us, and I was just like soaking it all up. I was like, this is so fun. And I felt good. It was downhill, it was cold, it was gorgeous. I just was so happy. And we hit the first mile and I was like, holy crap, that went by so fast. And we hit the second mile. I feel great. Third mile, fourth mile. I think it was like mile 4 or 5 and these girls started chatting behind me and they were just saying like, oh, their watch buzzed like a little bit before the mile marker. And I was like, I swear if I have to run more than 26.2 miles, I'm gonna be mad. And then I just started chatting with these girls, but really this girl just started chatting with me. And she was like telling me her entire life story. And we ran together for like 4 miles. And that was really freaking nice because that was 4 miles I didn't even think about. She was just talking. We got to mile 10. And I was like, okay, mile 10. I'm feeling kind of good. And I'm hitting my paces that I wanted to hit. I'm going a little bit faster. My dad calls me at like mile 12 and he's like, I'm at mile 15. I just went up the hill. Yeah, I'm here. And he's like, whoa, you're doing great, which made me feel good. And then I was kind of expecting, okay, there's gonna be a big hill at mile 15. I hit mile 13, called my husband. I was like, I'm feeling kind of good. Like I'm definitely feeling it, but I'm feeling good so quickly. I got to mile 18. It was insane. Like I just was freaking cruising. By mile 18 for sure, I was feeling it in my hips. That's where I always feel it during these long runs. It started to rain and my hands were so cold. Like I wanted to pull out my phone more to like take a video or whatever, but like I couldn't move my thumbs because it was so cold. I was just so thankful that it was raining and cold versus being hot. Like I felt a little bit of warmth in my face, but then I just would go like this for a little bit because my hands were so cold and like cool my face down. The weather was literally perfect. It did start to warm up like a little bit at the end, but I only had like 2 miles left by the time it started to warm up. It was so perfect. Got to mile 18, I was like, oh my gosh, I have literally 8 miles left. Like I can do 8 miles. Like I did 8 miles this past weekend. I start getting like panic breathing once it starts getting kind of hard. So it was like 24 to 25 mile, like between that mile that I started getting panicked because I was like, holy crap, this is getting kind of hard. But then I was just like, nope, we're not gonna like let myself get panicked. I'm not gonna cry. We're not stopping. So I just kept taking deep breaths and just kept going. I saw my grandpa. It was like, you take that final turn. So I had less than a mile for sure to go and I saw him and that just like was so freaking special seeing him. I gave him a hug. We ran together for a little bit, which was really cool because he just had hip surgery, so he can't run anymore. Him and my dad had done marathons together, so it was just like a really cool moment, just like seeing my grandpa right there. Then a little bit down the road, I saw my husband. That was so nice. I was like, I did it, Brian, I did it. My husband and I ran together, which that helped a lot too, because I feel like that last stretch is just like kind of brutal because you know you're so close, but then the finish line like just isn't getting any closer. I'm very thankful that he was there and ran with me. And then the finish line was right there and I saw the rest of my family. My brother and sister-in-law were there and my grandma was there. My dad had finished and he was there and I finished. I ran a 4:26 marathon, which I'm like so freaking proud of. I felt so good. Genuinely, I don't think I hit a wall. So I didn't walk besides when I would grab some water. I would just take a few steps, drink some water, maybe get a second cup if I really needed it. And then there were a few times because my back started to kind of tighten up. I would just like stretch my back for a second and then I'd just be like, hey, let's go. My muscles hurt and immediately after I finished the race, like my muscles just kind of started like twitching and freaking out and it was really hard to walk. Having people at the different aid stations, that was so nice. Having all of the water stations because then people were like cheering you on all the time. I kept telling my husband, we'll see if I want to do another one after I finish my race. Like I just want to see how I feel once I finish the marathon. Like I might hate running so much because I remember after my half marathon, I was just like, holy crap, I could not imagine doing another one. As soon as I finished the marathon, I was like, yep, I'm gonna do another one. Like that was so freaking cool. And it was hard, but it wasn't as hard as I thought. I just like cannot believe that I have now run a marathon. it just did not feel like that. Like, it was like one of the easiest long runs that I've ever done. I'm so thankful that I got to be able to run a freaking marathon with my dad. I think that's like the coolest part about all of this, is that I got to run it with him, and like my grandpa was there and my family was there. Since I hadn't run a marathon before, I kind of thought the marathon was going to be the hardest part. Like, you do all this training just so you're like capable of doing the run, but it was just cool to see, like, no, you do all the training so that the run is cool and fun and you feel good. I will say the soreness after, probably just because like I went a faster pace, I did more elevation drop than I've ever done on any run before, and you're also running 26.2 miles. I hurt so bad after. Like, that was brutal. For like the next 2 days after, I was just so sore, and it's Wednesday now, so it's been like 4 days since the marathon, and I feel better, but my back is still pretty tight and like my legs are still pretty sore. So recovery is a little bit painful, but I feel like that's kind of the fun part. Like, I've always loved being sore because it just shows that like you worked hard, and so no complaints about the soreness. I'm just happy because I know that I'm not going to stop running, and I'm excited to kind of make running a part of who I am.
I'm so glad we came back, Brian.
Flat. It's actually concaved.
Yeah, new theory unlocked.
It is a sphere, but a reverse sphere.
Yeah.
The only thing to fear is sphere itself.
That's exactly what I was thinking.